Hello, I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Kerry Kriger. My internet died. I was gone for about 10 minutes. I was hoping everyone would still be here. It does look like a lot of people are still here. Thanks for that. And I was also hoping, hey, maybe people, since this is a grants discussion, will just take the mic and start discussing grants. I don't know if that happened. It looks like maybe not, but hopefully it did. But bear that in mind for the future. If I ever disappear, then hey, keep the discussion going at whatever kind of Save the Frogs meeting you're at. All right, so here's what was happening. We discussed Save the Frogs grants, final reports, and the question came up, how do we apply for the grants? I was just going to walk you through it and maybe even apply for a grant myself right here. And let me share my screen again. Let me open up a Save the Frogs page. SaveTheFrogs.com. Get your frog saving on. All right. Okay, yeah, so I was telling you to become a member and how to do that. And then Academy grants. Come over to the Save the Frogs grants page. Feel free to chat in your questions if you have questions. All right, so come on down here. Amphibian conservation grants, Save the Frogs Day grants, travel grants. You need to decide which one you are going to apply for. Read the rest of this page, or at least scan through it to know what's on the page. Go sign up for Save the Frogs grants notifications. Hey, on this page, here's various kind of things. I'll add more stuff to it. I'm always adding to the site. And let's go apply for a Save the Frogs Day grant. Maybe we'll do a Save the Frogs Day grant and a travel grant, though I assume most of you are here for Save the Frogs Day grants. Let's definitely do that one. So first thing is Save the Frogs Day, April 28th every year. All right, April 28th. Ideally, you can do your event on April 28th, but if that date just doesn't work for you, then I suggest doing it in the week prior. Don't do it like June 30th. Hey, that would be better than nothing, but get as close to the date as possible, ideally before the date. And feel free to share this graphic online. There's various graphics through the Save the Frogs Day, SaveTheFrogs.com/day webpage. Funding amount, Save the Frogs Day grants average around $350. If you have an exceptional event planned or a series of events, request up to $750. We could possibly consider more, but that would only be if you have successfully organized Save the Frogs Day events in the past, and I would try to stick with 750. But if you're really an experienced organizer and really have a big plan to do a lot more, then I'm happy to hear about it, but don't just apply for it. Let's talk first, get some pre-approval to apply, and then do that. Otherwise, assume that you're not going to apply for any more than $750. Timeline, February 1st to March 1st, applications, decisions by April 1st, funds dispersed by April 10th, final report submitted by May 15th. All right. What we do and do not fund. Well, hey, these ones, eligibility. I'll let you all read all that stuff. Okay, you should go through all of that. Graphic design and printing. I should link right here. We do have a graphic design course. Hey, I'll even open that up, and I will do that right now. Your program agenda. You should be, if you submit application to hold an event, it would make sense to provide the agenda, the proposed agenda, to the grants committee. So go ahead and do that, because if you don't do that, then we don't know what's going on at your event. We don't know the topics being discussed or what's taking place at the event. We don't know if it's a 30-minute event or a 6-hour event. So give an actual timeline of what's going on. I'm going to come in here. I'm not going to do that. It's not going to work, so I'll just not do that now. All right, are you visiting schools? Hey, you're visiting schools. Wouldn't it help your application if you had a letter of support from the school that you're going to visit, or even just a letter of acknowledgement? Yes, we're happy to host this person's Save the Frogs Day event. Looking forward to it. That would be good. It's not required, but just I like to think about ways to improve the chance of success. Because then, why would you want that? Because the grantor, assume the grantor never trusts that you or your organization are capable of getting everything done. Okay, you've got to build that trust. You got to prove to the grantor you know what you're talking about. You're the right person for this. And one way to do that is you've already got the schools. It's not just like, yeah, I'm going to go out to a few schools. Well, which schools? You haven't determined which schools. You have not spoken to the schools, as opposed to we're going to that school, this school, and that school. Okay, and here's letters. You know, it's not that hard for them to send you a letter just saying, you know, we're looking forward to, you know, being a part of this event. All right, total number of students expected, name of the contact at the school, even if nothing else, even if you don't have a letter of support, there's a part in, say, the Frogs grant applications, like who else is involved in this project? Give me the names, like who are your top volunteers? You can give the names of the principal at that school. Like anything you give, more info means less questions in the mind of the grantor. I don't want any questions in my mind when I'm reviewing an application, or I want all the questions answered. If everything that comes to my mind, like, what about this? What about that? What about that? If you answer it all for me, then I get to the end. I like the project. It's good to go. Approved. The details matter. All right, hey, don't submit an application and get the details wrong when there's a very clear paragraph right here about the details that matter. Okay, so I'll let you all read this in your time. There's even an image of right and wrong. So if you commit these errors, then, you know, it's not the end of the world. I know this stuff is stuff you're only going to know if you read it, but I'm giving it to you right here. It's very, you know, it's taking up the whole page. Like, you either read it or you didn't. And if you read it, you'd probably remember, like, just go check and make sure everything's correct. Okay? All right, questions you'll need to answer. This has not been updated in 2 years, but hey, why not open it up and just take a look? Or you just go to the application and you just, you know, go through the application. If you need to, you put in fake info. You just don't hit submit. But if you need to put in fake info to get to another section of the application, I can't remember if ours are all one page or not. Hey, there's a mistake right there. All right, about your budget. Do not submit a poorly prepared budget. Go click that to learn about budgets. Ready to apply? Good. Hey, we did our work. We read the page. We know we're ready to apply. We're going to click apply here. And it's probably going to say log in. All right, you got to be a member. All right, let me go ahead and get into the site. Meanwhile, anyone out there, if you have questions while I'm doing this, feel free to chat it in or unmute yourself. You can even turn your video on if you want.
I have a question.
I hear sound. V in Vietnam. Hello.
Yeah, I have a question. This question is, do you think creative fields like visual art or storytelling can play a role in amphibian conservation?
Can you repeat the question, please? And maybe speak
Yeah,
a little bit slower and a little bit louder because I could not understand what you just asked.
do you think creative fields like visual art or storytelling can play a role in amphibian conservation?
I only understood the part about stories and art. So feel free to type in your request and then I'll fully understand it. But if the question is, are we should we in should we make use of art, frog art, and storytelling? Then, if that's what's going to work for your audience, if you're with kids or artists, then that's going to be good. We have a Save the Frogs art contest, savethefrogs.com/art. So without, I think just go ahead and chat in your question, and then I will fully be able to answer it. Meanwhile, I am logged in to the site, and hey everyone, when you log into the site, you end up on a My Account page, and there's some things that may be of interest to you right there. I've made it easy to know what other kind of events we have, and if you are registered, it will tell you, and if not, hey, maybe you want to click through and register for those. If you are registered, it may even give you the Zoom login info. Hey, this is how to find your events Zoom login info. I don't even know what that is. Let me just stop that. Anyway, I'm in my account. I needed to be on this application page. That's how I ended up here. Let me see. I thought it would redirect me there, but not. Didn't happen. SaveTheFrogs.com/day-grants. I'm going to go down to the apply here. Apply here. That's not cool because I'm logged in. Oh, I'm not listed as a member. Let me go. All right, hey everyone out there, keep asking questions. No one has questions? I assume you have questions while I get logged in as a member so that I'm able to apply.
What are the biggest challenges for consumption?
I can't understand. It's part that you have a bad internet connection. Oh, there is a
Yeah,
chat there. So just here's the chat. Just go ahead and chat your question because I can't. The connection's not good. So the question is: do you think creative fields like visual art or storytelling can play a role in amphibian conservation? Yes, I think they do play a role. As I said, we have a Save the Frogs art contest that's been going on since 2009. Oh, probably 25,000 artists have taken part. Visual art, so that's, painted art, could be video, storytelling. If you can write a kid's book or if you can create some kind of story, I don't know what you have in mind, but I think that's definitely a good idea if you're trying to educate people and communicate amphibian conservation to them. Then yes, if you're good doing that, then that sounds good to me. All right, I think I'm actually, now I'm logged in. Okay, as a member. And let me go ahead and share. I clicked the apply here button, and this is where I've ended up. Apply for a Save the Frogs Day grant. All right, let's just go ahead and do it. That's me, Save the Frogs webmaster. And choose your country. About you. Hi. Let's see. Does this work? See if that works now. KK bio? Nope. All right, well, hi. I am a frog enthusiast. Let's keep on going. But I'm not just going to write that in my real application. I'm going to get my bio. Can you get a bio? Do you have a bio? About you. Wouldn't it be a good idea right now to think about You either have or you do not have a bio. What is a bio? A biography, a short, we'll call it a paragraph. All right? Could be 2 paragraphs, could be 3 paragraphs, but why'd I bring that up? And what am I looking for? And what have I found? Let's get back to this application. Did I leave the application? All right, we're back. Now I don't have to make something up, and why waste my time? I'm going to get asked this all the time. Tell us about you. Who are you? Okay, a bio. Boom. How about that? How'd I do that so fast? Because it was already written. All right. I use Notion. It's free, notion.so, and it's, I guess you could say in some sense, in the way I use it, it's somewhat like Microsoft Word, just a whole lot better. And that's where I keep long things of text, okay, including my bio. So I could just go there, grab the bio, paste it in. Now, if someone reads this about you, all right, Dr. Kriger is the founder and executive director of Save the Frogs, with a link, the world's first public charity dedicated exclusively to protecting amphibians. Dr. Kriger has given over 450 presentations on amphibian conservation in 20 countries. Hey, it's 500 at this point. Now, even right then as a grand tour, if I were reading this and I didn't know who this was, I'd be like, okay, good. This person sounds like they know what they're talking about, sounds relevant to us, as opposed to I'm a student and I love frogs and I'm from, whatever country. That's not going to tell me much. So prepare a good bio and then you'll have it ready to use. All right, next. Expected start date of the project. Okay, I'm just going to hold an event on the 28th and it's going to end on the 28th. Not February 28th, April 28th. It'll all be done in one day. Do I agree to submit a final report? Yeah, I'll submit a final report. Okay, it's got a little help message there. No, I won't submit it. Final report warning. If you don't agree to submit it, you're going to get rejected. Okay, so just I'll leave that with you. Final report. Well, it said final report should be submitted by May 15th, so I'll just go ahead and put May 15th. Next. Organization name. Save the Frogs. Organization mailing address. There's my mailing address. Hey, these things are fast to write out. Organization info. Hey, have I ever done this stuff before? Yes. What do I use to do this so fast? I use Text Expander. All right, it's an app called Text Expander. Things that I type in all the time, every day, every other day, over and over and over, hundreds of times, thousands of times. I create a little text expansion so that I just write a few letters dedicated to that thing and it expands. I put mission STF and boom, our mission expanded. I put Z1968 and our address expanded. I put STF and Save the Frogs written correctly, uppercase with the exclamation expanded, and that saves me hours and hours and hours. All right, organization URL, wwws, and I get the whole URL expands. Save the Frogs involvement in history. I have done a few events with Save the Frogs, and I know the founder. Okay, you ideally would say more than that. If you've never done anything with Save the Frogs, that's fine. Just say, never done anything with Save the Frogs. All right, I like their website, heard about them a few months ago. Follow them on Instagram, okay, at Save the Frogs. Okay, but if you've done stuff, don't assume Kerry's going to read this and Kerry knows me and I'll just be like, one sentence. No, I'm not the only reviewer, and you should assume the reviewers in general don't know who you are or can't remember what you've done. Okay, so I hosted Save the Frogs founder Dr. Kerry Kriger for a series of 5 presentations in Villahermosa, Tabasco, Mexico in 2017 or so, like David, then that's where I would probably start. Or, I've held Save the Frogs Day events in 2020, 2023, 2024. I've won 3 different Save the Frogs grants for this project, that project, and that project. Then we know, oh, this person's got a long history with Save the Frogs. That's a plus. That's a good thing. All right, next, project title. All right, Save the Frogs Day at the U.S. Capitol. Okay, hey, maybe we'll do that. I've been considering it. Executive summary. All right, now here is where I encourage everybody to go to Save the Frogs Academy. We'll even just go straight there. Courses, fundraising. SaveTheFrogs.com/courses/fundraising. And that's in Save the Frogs Academy right there. Academy. Just go find fundraising course. 24 or so lessons in here. If I were you, I would go through all of these. All right, you may not get it done by March 1st, but no matter what, I'd say don't even apply. Don't even waste your time applying if you have not gone through this one right here. That'll take you an hour. Okay? The Ultimate Guide to Writing Successful Save the Frogs Grant Proposals. All right? I'll say that's a must. I would even consider putting in the application as the first question. Have you watched this? Have you completed this lesson? If the answer is no, then it's like, sorry, go complete it and come back. Okay, so why did I think of this lesson in particular right now? It's because if you go there, there's a slideshow. I think it's even downloadable, but here's a video of me giving the presentation. Hey, here's a PDF. Download the PDF of the slides here. Let's see if they load up. And maybe so, maybe not. Let's see if all right, so what we fund, sorry about that sound coming through here. That's a little annoying. All right, good. Get this thing out of the way. Executive summary. Reviewers are busy. True statement. All right, your executive summary may be the only part of your proposal they have time to truly focus on. My original text there was, that may be the only thing they see. And I do believe that's true. Hopefully they see more, but one of the reviewers wanted me to change that. It may be the only thing they truly focus on. Okay, at Save the Frogs, we're going to see more than that, but at some organizations, it literally may be the only thing that the reviewer sees. If they don't like it, done. Why even waste their time going forwards? All right, so make it compelling. 1 to 2 paragraphs. 1 to 2, it doesn't have to be long. Use this space as your elevator pitch. If you're not familiar with that concept, you're in the elevator, you've got 30 seconds to talk to someone. What are you going to tell them? All right, describe. If you had 1 minute to describe your project, what would you say? That means get to the important stuff. Tell me the important stuff. And let's see, I think there's another page here. Let's see. All right, clearly and concisely include the name of your organization, the amount of funding you're requesting, what your project is and why it matters, when and where it will take place, who is involved, people and partner organizations. Sum it all up in 2 paragraphs. My executive summaries pretty much always start with, Save the Frogs is requesting X thousands of dollars from name of granting organization in order to implement the project Save the Frogs Day at the U.S. Capitol or whatever. Okay, that means even we're taking a 10-page long application or whatever it is, we're condensing it into 1 or 2 paragraphs. For me, probably just 1 big paragraph, okay? And then I'm condensing all of that into the first line, the first thing anyone sees. has got to be the most important thing of all. That's always the case. Do you ever click through? I'm going to stop the share. Do you ever click through to YouTube videos that have a terrible thumbnail with a title that makes no sense? You probably don't. All right. Do you ever click through to read the news article with terrible, uninteresting headline? You don't. Do you ever click through to read about the product that someone is trying to sell you that has a very boring, non-descriptive line? All right, that's the equivalent of the first line of your executive summary, right? Like, get to the point right here. Give me what I need to know. Okay, moving on. All right, so the executive summary. This is my one paragraph about what's going on, and it's very compelling and clear. Okay, clear and concise. Proposed activities. What are you going to do if we grant you funds? The more details, the better. All right, you've got 300 words, it says. Maybe we should allow more, but hey, see what you can do in 300 words. But also know that there's other places to put stuff. You don't have to put your agenda right here because there's a space for it. You don't have to tell us about the context in which your project takes place. This is just one event out of our 5-year-long efforts to do whatever. That can go in the context. You don't have to fit your location. So I think you have plenty of space to tell us. But proposed activities, the more detail, the better, but please be concise. We're going to go to 7 schools over the course of 7 days. They're going to be elementary schools, and the kids are going to be, grades 5 through 8 or whatever. And we're going to hold a storytelling session during which the famous frog author so-and-so is going to come there and read her newest story about frogs. The kids are going to take a quiz afterwards. There's going to be an art session where they're going to create frog masks. And then everyone's going to put on their frog masks, and they're going to walk around the school and make frog calls. And then we're all going to say goodbye. Okay? Details. What's actually going to happen? Put a vision into the reviewer's head so that they know what's going to take place. What's the agenda? We already talked about that. 8 a.m. arrival and introductions. 8:15 storytelling session. 8:45 frog art session. 9:15 the parade. 10 a.m. everybody says goodbye. Good. It's a 2-hour event. I know exactly how long it is, what's going to take place. Context. We've been doing this for 5 years. It's part of a bigger project. We also do wetland restoration, and we also visit high schools and universities. Or if it's not, you just say this is just a one-off event. We're doing our first event. Be honest. Tell us that's fine. Hey, cool. It's your first event. This is our chance at Save the Frogs to fund something that may turn into something more. Location. Where is it taking place? It's taking place in the lower Kathmandu Valley at the Rajdhani School of the Arts. I'm just making stuff up. Beneficiary species. Well, there's no species. You're not going out there to protect the torrent frog or anything, so you can just say, not applicable, or you're going to say, we're going to be focused on teaching about the Himalayan salamander or whatever it is that's going to happen. Beneficiaries. Who are the people? 4th graders. 5th graders, the kids of the Kathmandu Valley who live beside the stream that's being polluted. Field work, none. All right, not for this project, but maybe there is. Maybe it's a Save the Frogs Day event where you go out and plant trees. Tell us about it. All right, or you're going to take a group of students out and you're going to survey the frogs. All right, and you actually want real data, then tell us about your survey methods. All right, this probably will not apply to most Save the Frogs Day grantees. But for someone doing an amphibian research project, maybe it does. Educational events. If you're holding an educational event, precisely what will be taught, how will it be taught, how many participants, what age group, how will you choose participants, gain their approval to take part in your event. Some of this may be repetitive. You don't have to repeat yourself over and over. Okay, if there's new stuff to add here, add it. If you already discussed it, feel free to say already discussed in the section titled, context or whatever. Educational materials. If you're requesting funds for the creation of educational materials, what will the format be? Posters, leaflets, flyers, banners, who knows what, digital devices that have frog stuff preloaded. What's their dimensions? If you say we're going to print posters, I don't know if that means it's a poster this big or if it's a 1 meter by 2 meter poster. What will the text be? Maybe you don't have the graphic design. Wouldn't it be cool if you did, though? If I got to see your graphic design, you're asking for money to print stuff. Wouldn't it help me as a reviewer if I could actually see the thing that you want money for to print? That would be great. But if you don't have it yet, at least you have the text. And if you don't have the text, then why are you even applying for the money, I guess? Like, it's cool. Like, oh, you got money. Now I'll come up with text. But you do a little bit of work first is what I suggest. You think of the text, and then I know, like, I'll assume you're going to have some visually pleasing design for the future, but for now, at least I know what is going on this poster. Like, oh, it's a poster about the red-eyed tree frog and their habitat in Costa Rica. Will the Save the Frogs logo be included? I'd probably just say, yes, hey, we'll put the Save the Frogs logo on there, and then ideally do that. All right, merchandise. If you're asking for shirts and stuff, tell us, who's going to get them. I don't need to fund the shirts for all 100 kids at the school. Okay, so don't ask for more than you need. That's what we discussed yesterday. Think about what you actually need and ask for money for that. You don't need a shirt for every kid at the school, but maybe the volunteers who are working the event should have a shirt. That's fine. Tell us something about it. If you already have the design, great. That's the best. If you don't, then at least can you give a little description of what is going to be on the merchandise that you are intending to create. Equipment. All right, that's for if you're buying something. If you're requesting equipment, like we need 7 flashlights. We need a recording device. We need a camera. All right, especially the more expensive it gets, the more info we need about it. All right, what's going to happen to it once the project's done? Who's going to take possession of it? Will it ever get used? Are you going to keep it? Is the organization going to keep it? Do you have plans to use it going forward? Project team. All right, this is not like local volunteers. All right. Do you think that the reviewer is going to be enthusiastic about seeing that? They're going to be like, who are the local volunteers? What background do they have? How many of them are there? Why did you pick them? How are you going to pick them? All right, what's your role as the project participant? What are the roles of the other team members? Okay, I am coordinating all aspects of the event. Okay, in one sentence, that's better than nothing. Hopefully give a little bit more detail, but that's a true statement right there. I'm more concerned. You already told us about you. We're assuming you're coordinating the event, but now tell us who are the other people. Okay, Joe, Frog Lover, will be running security. All right, he'll be running security, and Jill Salamander will be taking photos, etc. Who are the volunteers that you already know are going to be there? Like, do they have names? All right, and frog team. We'll say, all right, whatever, Y schools. I just can't think fake names. Y schools frog team will be talking with the newcomers. I'm just making stuff up. And now I have an idea. There's going to be like you. There's going to be 2 main volunteers. There's going to be that group who from wherever school or the name of the principal collaborating organization. Y School. Okay? Y School in Lower Kathmandu Valley, or even better, they're at yschool.com. Okay? Hey, now I can go look up Y School. They've got a real website, and they're going to be collaborating with you, and I can learn a little bit about them. That's cool. Now I know, hey, there's a bunch of people taking part. There's real organizations taking part. Proposed activity. I feel like I somehow ended up in the, how did I go back to the start here? Next. Oh, maybe there was an error. There it is. Hey, I thought I put stuff in there. Oh, yeah. Anyway, my agenda. Oh, sorry. My activities. My agenda. Next. Location. At the Y School, okay? Beneficiaries, fees, none in particular, or hey, all the frogs of my region. Beneficiary people are the Y School fourth graders. Fieldwork, not applicable. Educational events, okay, all my info. Just trying to fill this out so that we can get to the next screen and see what's there. All right, communications. In what way will you be communicating this project over the internet? Through our LinkedIn org account at, okay, who knows what, linkedin.com/my.org, okay, with weekly posts leading up to the event, and on my personal Facebook page, channel, account at www dot whatever it is, okay. All right, number of volunteers expected, 75 volunteers. I'm sorry, number of volunteers. There's going to be 6 volunteers from the frog team and our 2 people, so there's 8 of us helping to make sure it's a success, and there's going to be 75 students. And our social media channel, hey, maybe that doesn't need to go there, but that's how we will communicate it. And with a social media, blog post on our org website at www dot whatever it is. Hey, social media, right? Give us your account if you want. Give us your organization account if they have them. Amount requested, $732. Okay? Yeah, budget accuracy, if only people would actually read this. Maybe they do, I don't know. Budget accuracy, accurate. I have double checked my budget to ensure it has no math errors. I've given precise prices rather than estimates, and I've clearly explained why all requested funds are needed. If you do those 3 things, then you're in good shape, okay? Because the budget, as I said yesterday, if your budget's not good, then your chances of success are not very high. Inaccurate. My budget may have math errors because I failed to use proper software to calculate total costs. I have estimated prices because I was too lazy to investigate actual prices. And I have not clearly explained why the funds are needed. I don't mind my entire application getting instantly rejected due to my poorly thought out budget. All right, don't let that be you. Budget details. So here, if you need to attach a spreadsheet, it shouldn't even be needed. If you want to attach a spreadsheet, and you probably do, then put that there. Don't repeat budget info twice. Don't put your whole budget here and include a spreadsheet with all your budget info. This is just like if you don't want to do a spreadsheet, you're welcome to put your info here. I don't suggest it, but you can. Otherwise, maybe you have a spreadsheet with your whole budget, but then you just want to put a note to the reviewer, something brief. but don't be repeating yourself. Why? Because you've just doubled your chance of error. Because if you say something here and it doesn't match up with what's there, that's not good. And if you waste our time, like seeing stuff twice, and don't waste our time, don't waste your time. Just put the stuff in one place or the other place. See spreadsheet attached. Anything else you'd like us to know? Hey, I really appreciate this opportunity and expect to save a lot of frogs. Attachment. So choose up to 15 files. What are you going to put here? Your resume, budget spreadsheet, photos of you, your team, your project location. I won't even say if it's relevant. I mean, a photo of any of that is good to us. It's not going to hurt your application. Samples of project-related graphic designs, especially if you're asking for funds from us. If you have them ready, put them up there. If you have promo materials already created promoting your event, upload those. All right? Submit my application. Boom, done. It'll take you to a thank you page. If you don't get to the thank you page and you don't get an email saying we've received your application, then problems, and you should probably email me, but it should work, okay? And can I submit it? Let's try to submit it right now, because someone told me, see here it says success, Cloudflare, but someone told me that they were getting problems with the CAPTCHA right there, and they could not submit. If that happens, please take a screenshot. Tell me what the problem is. Tell me what page it happened on. But let's submit application. This field is required. All right, that's interesting. I'm forcing something to get uploaded. I don't know. Maybe I should get rid of that. Who knows? All right. Let's just upload that. Submit the application. All right, hey, thanks for applying. We've received your application. Connect with Save the Frogs on social media. See what else is here. Grants, volunteering, scholarships, more articles you may enjoy. And I think I thoroughly answered the request, delivered the request to go through the Save the Frogs grant application. I won't do the travel grant. It'll have a whole lot of the same stuff in there, a little bit different, but the main concepts will apply either way. All right. I think that you all, having watched that, if you were paying attention for certain, should be ahead of the most people applying. Okay? Certainly if they never compare you to someone who has never gone through any Save the Frogs grants discussions or the fundraising course that we offer, that I strongly encourage you to take. You're in good shape right now. Any questions, and then we will go, and I'll wish you the best of luck with your Save the Frogs applications and whatever other applications for funding you are applying for which you are applying. Any questions? All right, it sounds like there's no questions. There's one chatted in here, so let me go through the chat. All right, and we've got, hey, David had a question. That was like half an hour ago. You're still out there, David? Tiene pregunta? David? They Save the Frogs Mexico. Y Save the Frogs Mexico está dando eventos cada semana. David is running a Save the Frogs Mexico event online. Save the Frogs Mexico meetups, maybe that's what they're called, reuniones cada semana in Spanish. And question coming in from the Terai of India. Dr. Kriger, is it necessary that if we apply for the grant, we need to get registered as a member first? Yes. You will not be able to access the application unless you are a member. And I don't think that Ruchir is here to hear that, but it's clearly on the website, and I discussed that yesterday and today. It's easy to become a member. Go become a member. All right, thanks for the session, says Mehdi Hassan Tariq. Possible, I think you've applied for grants before. If you're here, you can let me know if that's true. Maybe not, actually. All right, I've received verbal approval from the head of my institution to organize the Save the Frogs Day program at a remote school of the hill tracts of Bangladesh. That's good due to the ongoing Ramadan vacation. I can't immediately obtain written permission for the funding application. Is written approval required at the time of submission, or can it be provided later? It's not ever required. Like, you don't have to submit anything that's like, here's our partnership agreement with the school. I'm just saying those are things that help. And if you know that you're going to have one, then yeah, just apply and say, I've already gotten verbal approval from principal so-and-so name at the name of the school. And when he returns from his vacation on March the 17th or so, that week, I will get the written approval and I'll forward it to you by email. That would be perfectly fine with me. Generally speaking, assume that everything you need to apply is going to be in the application and that you won't have a chance to edit it or add to it. But that being said, we're not necessarily strict in that manner. If you send us something relevant in a well-written, concise email, say, hey, I applied for a Save the Frogs Day grant, please find attached a proof of partnership or whatever you want to call it with the school, which I didn't have at the time of application. Please add it to my application. That's fine with me. All right, let's call that good. I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Kerry Kriger. Happy to be teaching you grant writing skills. I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe every year for the past 5 or 6 years. We usually have at least 2 grants discussions per year. Expect another probably in June or so. And oftentimes we have other Save the Frogs Grants Committee members here. We didn't this time, but if you go watch those videos in the Save the Frogs fundraising course, they give their input throughout many of those videos as well. And with that, I'll say, welcome, Tahir. We are ending this session right now, but if you have a question right now, this is your chance, because we were actually about to end this, but I will entertain one more question if you unmute yourself in the next 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for helping Save the Frogs. I'm going to put these videos from today and yesterday up on youtube.com/Save the Frogs channel, and they will soon make it into the Save the Frogs Academy fundraising course as well. All right, bye.